Hey Buzzers, you are watching the Arrow After Show on AfterBuzz TV Season 4, Episode 17, titled Beacon of Hope.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey Buzzers, so welcome. We have an exciting episode tonight. Make sure you join our conversation by joining the hashtag. All you have to do is type in hashtag ABTV Arrow and you can co-host the show with us. I'm Alikona Bradford. You can follow me at boysandbeauty01. Tweet me all your comments tonight. And of course, the rest of this lovely panel, starting with this guy.
This
right
guy?
Here.
Hey, that's me. I'm this guy.
None of us know how to play piano.
I'm not, clearly. This is more like typing. This would be very noisy and unpleasant to listen to.
Can you say hello?
Hi, I am Lex Michael. I am all over social media at the Lex Michael. Anyway.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri, J-A-T-A-U-R-I-J-A-Y.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at KiaJ. That's K-I-A-X-E-T. We got the hashtag ABTV Arrow. We got the live chat. Do the thing, win the stuff.
All right, so let's start the evening with a little bit of crazy, because, you know, we need a little psycho in our evening, and our mics are properly themed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God,
this
that's right.
evening's
Yeah.
beautiful episode. So how many people were, like, cringing in their chairs every single time Bree made a pun about bees, because it was killing me.
Usually I'm down for it, but you really have to fit them in. If you just try to force it at every single opportunity, it stops being funny. And I say that as someone who attempts to find a pun opportunity at every single turn.
But it's all about the delivery.
If people aren't doing a hive mind with you, there's just no way to do it.
See? Anyways, okay, so
That's like a double pun too, because we're talking about this show. There came a point where I really wanted Oliver. Nope, taking that again. Where I really wanted Oliver to break the kill rule, so there would be no more puns.
Puns. There would be no more
There
puns.
would be no. And by the way, what? Even after they defeat her, they keep referencing Beacon of Hope, and I can't not hear Beacon of Hope because I just spent 40 minutes being inundated with bee puns.
And I'm on the Ruby after show, and they definitely just destroyed the school at the end of this season, and the school was called Beacon. So every time they bring it up, I'm like, oh no, Beacon is down.
And see,
Beacon
now,
is down.
But see, it's still happening because now I can't not hear Ruby after show. I need to go somewhere and get well.
Best worst pun. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Best worst villain. Why
did they bring her back?
I don't know, but you guys explained to me that this is her character and this is how she's supposed to be, but it just comes off as being a poor actor. And I know it's not her, but the delivery of it all just seems so mechanical.
I didn't mind her so much, though.
Really?
I thought she was a good actress. Couldn't stand the character. Good actress.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the way the character is written. Because I like her. I like Emily Kinney. I liked her on Walking Dead. I liked her when she showed up as this same character on Flash last year. But it's the same thing. And I think it's the way the character is written where it becomes very easy to lean into the almost Batman 66-esque elements of that character. And it felt a little weird on Flash, feels super weird on Arrow.
I mean, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, but that doesn't work as well on Arrow.
I don't know. Well, either way, I mean, she was interesting in that we find out the reason why she's doing all the things that she's doing and wanting the chip that's inside of Felicity, which is clearly still inside of Felicity. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I mean, it was
cool.
So.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Cool storyline in that sense.
I thought it didn't fit her. I thought it was just, it's all the bee puns and it's all this and she wants that. And, oh, by the way, I have a tumor on my spine and they have to cut my spinal cord to get it out. So that's why I want this. I'm like, wow, that was not the way to... It feels like my sad backstory is pasted on Yay.
Well, I think
that's what it feels like.
But Felicity made a good point because she said, well, why, you could just ask nicely. You know, and they had made it a point to mention in the beginning of the show how expensive it would be because Felicity was just talking about trying to get this technology out there, and that's why they were going to have the whole meeting with the board, this, that, and the third. And then here she comes saying, well, I can't afford it, so I just want yours. Like, why wouldn't you just ask for another prototype? Why do you want the one specifically inside of her back?
Because it exists, and it's the only one that exists, and it's just the expedient route.
Okay.
Yeah, and past a certain point too.
Expedient route.
Expedient. God, it's going to be everywhere now. But partially too, and this is the case with a lot of comic booky villains, even ones that don't necessarily exist within the confines of comic books. Past a certain point, the biggest explanation for a good deal of their behavior is they're crazy. And ultimately, I think a lot of it comes back to crazy B-lady is crazy.
Okay. Go ahead.
I just think, well, my only issue is that, like, all the time and energy and money she spent making all these bees
not for nothing,
could have been used to, like, buy the technology.
And at one point, one of you guys said something about how Felicity would wind up using the technology in the bees to be able to mass produce the... I thought that was where this was going. One of you guys predicted that in the middle of the episode. Thank you, Tauri. Yes. And I thought that was a great prediction, and then it was just like...
No, she's gone.
Nothing!
Yeah.
There was... The point to this episode was to get Curtis into the Arrow Cave.
Which,
let's be real,
which was
that
nice.
was the point.
Oh, speaking of caves, though, at the very beginning of the show, I love the fight scene. Because they're fighting without costumes. Not that we haven't seen that before, but it's literally everybody in one facility, all fighting. You can see their faces, and they're throwing down, and I really liked it.
I really liked the group sparring.
Oh,
It was
yes.
fun.
The training session was a thing of wonder and beauty.
Yes.
And Oliver just giving crit while he's going.
But here's what I felt like. I feel like the show was also trying to take us in the direction of, here's Laurel helping Oliver get through his woes because she knows him best. She's been scorned by his love too. And if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. And I'm all, is that trying to just, is that preluding going in that direction with her?
Oh, God,
once
no,
he
she is
feels?
not interested.
Yeah, I feel like
It is not like the
hope
level
not.
of interest is underground. It is so far in the negatives.
Yeah, and I feel like we've just finally gotten to a place with Laurel where her character more or less makes sense and is consistent. And I feel like after everything that she has experienced personally with Oliver and everything that she has witnessed other people experience with Oliver, for her to have any interest in pursuing him romantically again would absolutely break her character.
She is 8,000% done.
I hope
And
so.
I think that is the best place for her to be.
Yeah, and as much as I finally came around to liking Oliver and Felicity, I think maybe Oliver should be single for a little while and really figure some stuff out.
And I feel like probably the rest of you Felicity shippers, just like me, are wondering if this really is the end, or are we going to go through an entire journey that's going to bring them back full circle and eventually forgive each other?
I'm hoping that we will, but if this stays the end, then I can understand why, and I will not begrudge the show for that.
Right.
Because it wasn't cheap, petty drama. It was actually extremely well developed.
Right. But if this is the end, does that mean there is no more Felicity? Because the repetitious, let's try to get Felicity back on the team as far as in Thea's perspective of what she was trying to do, and Felicity constantly saying, I'm done, so is she eventually going to fade off of the show?
I doubt
where
that.
does she fit?
I doubt that.
Well, so we've talked a whole lot about the reason why, for example, before we knew that Felicity wasn't in the grave, we talked a lot about you can't get rid of Felicity because there's nobody else on this show that could fill even a similar
Curtis!
dynamic. And
So now we
then
have a
in this
Curtis.
episode, we have Curtis filling the same dynamic. I will say I agree with Katie that I certainly wouldn't begrudge the show if this was the end of that relationship because it didn't feel petty, because it did feel like this breakup was earned. If they're going to walk it back and they're going to get back together, I think they really need to take their time with that, and they really have to earn it. That can't be something that happens soon. It can't be something that happens on a whim either. They really need to lay the groundwork effectively if they're going to walk that back.
Yeah.
And circling back to the where does she fit in? I mean, she is still pretty much bankrolling the team. And also, she could be what I would describe as like the Lucius Fox of this team, in that like she's giving them the gadgets. She doesn't necessarily have to be the on the ground hacker, but like she can still support them in ways that I think will
Curtis
be beneficial.
can.
Well, she's a little bit like their non-field agent Tony Stark now, in that she pays for everything and designs everything and makes everybody look cooler.
Yeah.
Well, and Curtis also said at the end that he was one and done. Like, he was there, he did the thing. Do I buy it? Not necessarily.
No.
I can see him coming back into it in a moment of desperation.
Not even desperation, excitement. I feel like he said that because he just assumed that he's not really a part of the team, so he's done. But I feel like that set us up for drama in his life because he specifically said to his hubby, I promise I won't disappear like that again. But the second they need him and they call him, guess what he's going to have to do? Disappear again. So that's just a whole nother development of another storyline. That's how I see it anyway.
I will be so unhappy if that's how they choose to go with Curtis's relationship.
I don't know.
Like, can we have one
Healthy?
not straight relationship that doesn't just end in shambles? Because that is a thing in media. If it's not a straight relationship, you're hosed. And I'm really, really tired of that.
I would really like to see once Curtis is inevitably called back into action, as we know he will be.
Mr. Terrific.
Once that happens, I would like to see him have a real conversation with his boo and, say earnestly, like, they need my help. I can actually make a difference. I can actually save a lot of lives. And for his husband to go, I don't like it, but I understand.
And actually, because if he did do that, he would be taking the honest approach, something that Oliver is not quite familiar with. And I really liked that Laurel had the conversation with Oliver about, hey, first of all, quit taking things out on people, whether it's the practice or Curtis. You just pretty much kicked him in the face when he's trying to celebrate a small victory. But take into consideration, because Oliver's going all about into the past, how he was so happy when he was in little small nowhereville and life was simple and he came back and this and that, and then he's starting to blame the lifestyle of why they broke up, and Laurel straight up calls him out and says, Felicity didn't break up with you because of all the things going on around you. She broke up with you for you. Not your line of work.
Because he lied to her.
Exactly.
And again, it was a situation where no one was going to win, but it's understandable that it went this way.
Yeah.
Like you said, wow, words.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yep, take it again.
Blah. This breakup was earned.
Yes.
It wasn't cheap, ridiculous drama like we've seen so often on this show and others.
A lot of shows, yeah.
It was earned.
Yeah.
Really quick, we'll keep on talking, but I was going to see if maybe our engineer could please put up the hashtag so we can see what everybody else at home is saying about what happened in tonight's episode. I do know that Billie Jean Girl was asking if we were really excited that Curtis was on the team tonight, and I'd have to say all around yes.
Oh, that was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For real, though, locks, I don't know, like fingerprint, security, anything. Because as Lance pointed out, like, can anybody just walk in here now? Curtis, yes, very smart guy, wasn't even looking for it. Like, everybody who's gotten in without any repercussion or trying very hard has at least been trying to get in the past.
Well, no, he was too. He was using the phone that they'd given him to track it back.
Right.
So,
But he
he's
wasn't
not an
looking
idiot.
for a lair,
yeah, he
though.
wasn't
It's
looking
not
for
like,
the arrow
let me
cave,
figure
you know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Like, he found it without even meaning to.
Yeah.
So, is now maybe when we put a lock on anything? Maybe, perhaps?
I mean, technology, the fingerprint, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going, like, in this whole universe, too, because, like, I'm pretty sure Star Labs doesn't even have a door. This whole universe seems weirdly lax in their security, considering that there seems to be heavy crime all over, metahumans all over, and no one locks their doors. It's like Canada.
I've never figured out the Star Labs thing. That never made any sense to me. People just walk in there all the time, and they're keeping a bunch of supervillains in the back closet, like, all right.
Yeah.
Big.
But that's the Flash.
Yeah.
Not that we're doing better here, but at least we're not keeping supervillains in a donut in the back.
Right. But it is great to see Curtis actually taking a more active role in what they're doing. I did like... What?
Y'all are just having a
Sorry.
conversation.
It is a donut. That's
Yeah.
what the prison is shaped like.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a donut in the back. So.
It's a donut that he can sometimes travel through time by running around.
Sure.
What? Time donuts. Hashtag time donuts.
Time donut.
So, yeah, but it was great, too, like, watching him and Lance have business together as they try and fight the one robot bee. And even though he's mostly just running away from the robot bee, I did like that his athleticism comes into play.
Yes,
as
he's on
as
the
he's
flip.
jumping
Just
over
flipped
stuff.
over the computer. Yeah, just goodbye.
Now, yes, it's in service of running away, but still,
Not really necessary.
But it's like you can see how, okay, once this guy gets used to this world, that athleticism is absolutely going to lend itself to helping the rest of the team more actively, and it's not something that they pulled out of nowhere. It's something that we knew about him before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he was doing this with 104-degree fever. Usually you hit 104 degrees, you go to the hospital.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he had the IV, so maybe it brought down the temperature temporarily.
IVs
but
are not magic. That's a saline solution.
I
I don't
mean,
know
this
why
is
it did
Arrow.
as
This
much
is
as
Arrow.
I know,
That's-
right?
that's true.
Hashtag Arrow science.
Right,
Yeah.
you know it was in that
Science.
IV.
Yeah.
They cured paralysis, remember?
That's true. And for a
death.
while, they had those magic herbs that could do
They cured
literally
death.
everything.
Yeah, true. Like
Sure,
I'll buy Magic IV if I can buy They Cure Death and time travel and robot bees.
The sad thing is, I'm willing to buy robot bees and time travel and curing death, but it's
the
like,
IV.
your saline IV did this, and I'm like, no,
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Well, first of all, two things about Curtis. One, the flip did come out of nowhere. Obviously, it's foreshadowing something, but it's just interesting because the way the character is built, he's a little bit of a nerd, right? And so you don't typically think of someone like that just all of a sudden out of nowhere doing this really cool flip. Two, when Echo was here last week and we were talking about stunts, and I was like, hey, are you doing some of these things yourself? And he had said yes, and I do believe to an extent. So what I want to know, was that really Echo, or was that a stunt double that did that flip?
I would.
I am equally impressed.
Yeah, either way, it's super cool. I would have to know more about the circumstances under which they shot the episode, because sometimes even if an actor is capable of doing their own stunts, for insurance reasons, they won't let the actor do their own stunts. Unless you're Tom Cruise and you're producing your own movies, and then you can make them let you be on the outside of a plane as it takes off.
True.
Hugh Jackman does his own.
Yeah.
The stuntman does it once, and then he's like, cool, my turn.
Yeah. But I like that we've known for a while that he's an Olympian. He's an Olympic athlete. Yeah. So it does, again, it would be weird if, because he is this nerdy guy, this nerdy tech computer guy, all of a sudden he's doing flips and he's like bouncing off the walls and he's running from the bees. I'd be like, how's he do that?
Well, what?
Yeah.
Is it just contagious because he's in I keep calling it the Arrow Cave.
Why can't I do this when I get sick?
I was sick over the weekend, and let me tell you,
I didn't
nothing.
Know no flips.
Nothing.
None.
Yeah. Really
Plus,
quick, guys, do you have a
nerds love
hashtag
parkour.
up? What
I do. I've got the live chat, and I've got the hashtag.
Okay,
we
what's up in there?
Yeah, my favorite right now is Metal Monkeys. So did anyone else scream how at the TV when someone with their mouth sewn shut was supposed to make a call?
Yes. I said,
Yes,
how are
we
you going to
did.
have Murmur call anybody? Is he going to go like, and like long, short,
Morse
long, like
code
Morse
it?
code?
Yeah. There's also someone who brought back hashtag squote, which I'm
Squote.
trying really hard not to.
Where was that?
That was from a different show.
Oh.
Wasn't that Legends of Tomorrow?
That was a legend.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Wrong show. Still love you.
Still, all of these after shows do share a universe.
We do.
Yeah.
And usually a studio.
Yes.
We're usually in this one.
Oh, something else, two things from early in Curtis's interactions with the team once he's in the cave. Really liked, and it's not the first time he's done it, but he made a reference to thinking that a Neil Adams from Processing was the Green Arrow. Neil Adams, as I mentioned on the show, legendary comics artist, one of the most well-regarded Green Arrow artists, drew the hard traveling hero stuff with him in Green Lantern, but also Lance's line about he's like, we gotta get these bees out, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but could we use some kind of digital honey? Can we change the name of the after show to Digital Honey?
Honestly, I love that. Like they did in Independence Day. I'm allowed to watch movies. Like, Captain Lance was just on fire tonight. And
yeah.
I'm so, I love it when they treat him seriously, but I also love it when they do this because he's the normal guy in the situation going, and she's controlling robotic bees. That's what my life is right now.
Yeah.
This is what my life is like.
Yeah.
Bees.
Yeah.
It's the Cards Against Humanity card.
Yeah.
Bees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like
Bees.
that when Curtis gets nervous, he makes 90s pop culture references.
Yeah.
And when they did the whole canary thing, he's like, all right, give me your best Mariah. And I was like, yes.
Well,
You gotta
we
give
all-
him the full
Yeah.
Mariah. We all got
Yeah.
Tauri,
Lex and I shared a moment because
Okay.
on the Flash crossover
With Supergirl.
they also had a full Mariah moment.
Oh, dear God.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
but the idea was, because Flash ends up, sorry, we're talking about a different but related show. Related.
We just keep winding up on the Flash.
But
shared universe, guy.
So Barry ends up in National City in whatever alternate Earth that Supergirl lives in, and somebody references Mariah Carey. Maybe it's Wynn. That seems like something Wynn would reference.
Right.
And they're talking about the differences between worlds. So, like, Flash has established that on this world, they don't have the Flash, the Green Arrow, they don't have Black Canary, they don't have Zoom, all of these other people.
It's almost like we're on a different network.
Right? But they all have Mariah Carey.
Yep.
Every universe
God.
has Mariah Carey. So this reference I thought was really cute. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's wonderful timing.
I was just thinking of the Flash from Earth 2. God, what's her name? The daughter. Looking up the information on Beyonce and going, did you mean Senator Knowles?
Senator Knowles.
Yes.
Yes.
Jesse.
Yeah.
So this is totally irrelevant, but I just have to bring it up because somebody tweeted this at me, at Billie Jean Girl. Thank you, by the way, for always participating in our after show. She says that she thinks that Oliver should become a priest and stop dating altogether.
Oh, man.
My dad always told us in the family he grew up in, you were either going to go into the armed forces or the priesthood. And I think Oliver's made his choice. He's definitely not going into the clergy.
I don't know. It's never too late.
It's true.
He can do it.
If you could do the armed forces or the priesthood, I realize there's a Venn diagram overlap with the army chaplains.
Sure.
Like, I get it. But he's very obviously on one side of that line.
But you could totally, the timing would be weird because AMC's about to launch a Preacher show, but he's rebranded already. He could rebrand to Green Preacher. It's not too late.
Green Preacher.
And he fires
Just
crosses
add
at
the
people.
collar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man,
No.
I'm down. I'm
No.
so
Trigun.
No.
This isn't Trigun. Okay.
Wow.
Can we? Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk a little bit about Damien Dark since somebody had brought him up already and the whole situation that went happen. So, okay. Obviously, Malcolm comes and visits him, right? And he's like, hey, bro, just so you know, your boys aren't behind you anymore. They're a little bit over you because, you know, when you're a butthole and then they lock you up, they're not
Exact
leaving
quote.
there.
Direct quote.
Yeah. I should be a writer for this show. So anyway, then my favorite... Sorry, I think I just spit on you. I'm really excited,
if
guys.
I haven't earned it yet, I'm sure I
Occupational
will.
hazards. So continue.
Anyway, my favorite part of this show is when Damien and Malcolm are talking, and he's like, with his hands to go do something with powers. It's like,
And Malcolm just smirks at him.
And it's like, it's broken. And he's like, don't worry, it's common amongst men your age.
Oh, the performance issues.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. That's all.
That was a thing of wonder and beauty. And then we have Malcolm going, okay, well, you're his ace in the hole at the very end and talking with Andy. And it's like, whose side are you on, aside from your own? What's the Venn diagram overlap with your own side?
Right.
Are we
It's like,
still
but
planning
now
something with
but
Korn?
Is Andy now
Yeah.
trying to take over?
They did
Hive?
say
is he
that-
in charge?
They did say that they were still going ahead with Genesis, which is the magic Nazi corn, but they don't seem to still be going ahead with Dark.
Right.
The project has moved on without you. You've been downside. There's a whole Emperor's New Groove quote, and I don't have it memorized, but you know what I mean.
But we've totally, you, Katie, a handful of weeks ago, whenever, I feel like I haven't been here in a year.
I know, right? Spring break was so long.
Yeah, but there was a point where we were talking about how you referred to Damien Dark as the dragon. He's the one, the violent one that goes out and does the bidding of the people that are actually in charge. And I feel like now, yeah, we've temporarily moved him off to the side. He's in jail, but, you know, he could get out of jail. I assume he will. But the entire evil plot seems to have now completely moved on without him.
Yeah.
So
The Emperor was still functioning with the Empire, with or without Darth Vader.
Right. So now I'm going, what is the function of Damien Dark in this story going to be?
But I feel like he's gonna get out.
Right.
Okay, first of all, so, you know, we have the little fight scene going on in prison, right? And I'm all, ooh, it's about to go down, this big guy and his homies and then whatever. And the first fight, before there's the blackmail with the grandma, he actually, wasn't it him? He shanks Murmur, which he calls Murr, but he shanks him in the leg. And then all of a sudden blackmails him, and apparently they're friends now.
I thought he got one of the bruisers. I didn't think he got Murmur himself.
Yeah, he held his leg, and he did one of these.
Oh.
While the other guys fought and took him down. And I thought, yeah, it's about time somebody whooped Damien Dark's ass. Like, he just deserved one, you know?
For half a second, I was like, he doesn't have powers, but he's holding his pretty...
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
Nope.
Oh, they're giving it to that stunt double. Oh, dear.
Hasn't Damien Dark held his own against Oliver in hand-to-hand, though?
Yeah.
But he also
Yeah,
has
he has
powers at the
powers
time.
still.
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess
he
so,
literally has
but-
none.
I feel like if you've got power, and I only think this because of Star Wars, but I'm thinking like if you have the Force, your reflexes are quicker, you can sense movement. I don't know.
Well, he's probably also had training just in case, or
Sure.
before the powers occurred. I'm not sure which.
And
former League of Assassins, right?
So he probably, So he probably was trained in hand-to-hand combat, but it's also probably been a very long time since he's had to fight without training wheels.
Right.
Why did it take me 2 minutes to remember that he was former League of Assassins? That's how we got introduced.
I didn't even remember it.
And by the way, I love that Malcolm Merlin is not the demon's head anymore, but every time he pulls something inexplicable off, he can still go, well, I used to be Ra's al Ghul.
It's like the artist formerly known as Prince.
It's like, I just keep thinking of Harriet Jones in Doctor Who. We know who you are.
Nice.
I get
Who
it.
knows? Who knows?
Understood that reference.
I got it.
Who knows?
Hooray.
Well, either way,
Yeah.
we come to the end of the episode. We'll talk about the island in just a second, but Felicity, what?
Wait, can we... I feel like we skipped over the fact that not only does Brie Larson have these robot bees, the robot bees can make a person? The robot bees made Yellow Jacket. Like, when she's
From
in
Marvel?
Yeah, she's in jail watching Marvel DVDs, and she saw Ant-Man and was like, what a good idea.
Like, I like this.
That was the only thing that bothered me about the episode.
We didn't have the CGI budget for everything, so at some point we're just gonna put a guy in a suit.
Pretty much, because like one sting from these bees can like take someone out immediately, but they decide, nah, man, we're gonna fight you like a bro.
Like you're just a dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but see, that's where I'm going. Like, the only explanation for me that makes any sense, even though it's not a great or particularly deep explanation, is that she's very crazy. Because if she had thought about it, all you have to do is go, hey, not only did I invent robot bees, but I can literally make people out of them. I can sell this technology and buy like 10 of those non-paralysis chips.
At least.
Yeah.
Where is she going to sell them at an evil villain auction?
Sell
They
it
have
on the black market.
those.
That exists.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's a thing in the real world. That's not just DC TV land. They have those.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
It's
Never got
only
an
in
invitation.
DC TV land that Damien Dark and
Vandal
what's
Savage
his name
hang out at
show
them.
up at the same time.
Seriously, all you gotta do is sell the bee technology to Vandal Savage and you'll be rich forever. He may kill you.
And what I love is
Be
that
rich
she's making this whole big thing about, yes, but bees are going extinct and we need, like, she's got a very good point, but you have robot bees you can control. You're worried about the bee population, use them to pollinate!
Yeah, that's the thing. The bees are going extinct rapidly is true and concerning. Beyond
Thanks, Monsanto.
Yeah, but it's like beyond this is why I picked bees. This doesn't seem to factor into her MO or her philosophy in any larger way, which is odd.
And again, there's a point where it stops and it's just like, well, she's crazy. And that's the excuse. So you
Right.
have these bits that could be very interesting, very compelling character bits if you went with them. The tumor on the spine, that's why she wants all of that. The going with bees because they're becoming endangered, like that all makes for a very interesting character. But then you go with, but she's crazy. And it all just falls flat. You can't have that depth and then go, but she's cray, unless you're Harley Quinn and there's a really good freaking reason for it.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn done right, I mean, not Suicide Squad movie.
Reserving judgment.
Burn. Okay, so, but you know, the interesting thing is all those bees, with everything that Curtis was doing to try to disable them, all Felicity had to do was take a lamp, break it, and shove it in them.
Oh my God, wait.
Like, the arrow thing didn't work.
Wait, I'm sorry. We also skipped over the part where Oliver got stung and then his body began to fill with bees.
Yeah,
That's the
was
thing.
weird.
That's the
So
thing that
messed
happened.
up.
That happened though on this show tonight. Oliver Queen filled up with bees.
Well, I was glad that happened. Mostly, no, I was because I
Tauri,
spent-
we don't need to hear about your kinks.
No, up until this. Oh yeah. Up until that point, in my mind, because the first guy that had the bees inside of him, he would have realized that he had bees, but he didn't, unless all the bees were actually controlling his body, like he was just filled with bees. So up until that
That's
point,
why
when they
he
explained
exploded. He exploded into bees.
Right, but
I didn't understand how, okay, they did the canary scream, and I thought it was going to kill the bees, or they were going to come flying out of his mouth into a formation, since there was all this talk about formation.
Right.
And instead of doing anything, they all just came back and became one again, and then Oliver's just supposed to poop it out.
It's amazing. By the way, sir, this is now canon. At some point in this universe, Oliver Queen poops a bunch of bees.
Only one.
It's just
only one.
He has a bee.
That implies that all of the... Oh, God.
Oh, that's it. They don't get better. Or worse.
We've hit the pinnacle.
There we go.
Did you miss
dear
that one?
God.
Yeah, I really did.
BM.
Huh?
A BM?
Okay, good.
Okay,
We got it. I need a bit of catch up.
That implies
Sorry,
that
guys.
all of the bees were in his stomach and not like moving under his skin like the mummy flesh-eating scarabs, which is what I was assuming.
Right.
So,
No, they're
know.
very complacent bees.
I think that a lot of this is again stemming from Bee Girl, she cray,
And
let's do a bunch of weird stuff.
and
like
that's the thing.
core of this episode was so completely bizarre. Oh my God!
Say it.
Someone in the chat is going praise nanotech. Bless the people who can make
Hemotech?
thrilling. Bless nanotech. Bless the
Oh.
people who can make thrilling adventure hour references at me. I love you guys.
I went back to the mummy.
But the point is that the core of this episode, our villain, what we were going for, was so completely absurd and underformed, and just theater of the absurd is where we were
Yes.
at. That everything else around the episode didn't fit. It had to be absurd to work around her, and the only thing that worked with that was Curtis and Lance.
Yes, yes.
They were great with it, but everyone else is too serious freaking business to have the bees.
But it's like, I
and
agree.
it was just dumb.
No, and it's like, I agree with you completely that, yeah, past a certain point, it is so weird and crazy, and these parts definitely don't all totally fit together. But for me, I will forgive a lot if it's weird enough. And Oliver Queen is filled with bees is so beautifully, blissfully
Beautiful.
weird. Beautifully, blissfully
No, stop.
bizarre that I can't dislike it. It actually, like, this look, I'm just like, this is really great. It's so strange.
Oliver Queen filled with bees is the name of my corn cover band.
Your magic Nazi corn.
My magic Nazi corn cover band. Oh my God, this is how you know we record late at night, you guys. We're all just kind of losing our minds.
Speak for
This
yourself.
episode. Yeah, no, you are the lone bastion of sanity on this panel, and I do have a measure of pity for you having to put up with us.
Well, either way, anything interesting going on in the hashtag live chat, all that?
Many interesting things, but mostly just bee puns.
Bee puns.
Oh, I'm all about that.
Elliot Broom wants to talk about who's up for the inevitable Judas moment with Dig, Andy, and Oliver. So much Star Wars. Along the same line, Alicia Perez wants to talk about, do you think Diggle is going to believe that his brother has rejoined the dark side? So I feel like we're a little bit into predictions territory
Yeah.
with that, so that may be something we hit in a few minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about the island really quick before we go into that direction. So this time around, we're seeing a little bit more magic going on, and obviously we see Ryder with the weird eyes and all that situation, and basically the fact that he's killing people to get these powers, but now Oliver's actually figuring this out. And I feel like the direction they're going in with this is obviously to tie it into whatever's going on with Damien Dark and his plans of whatever the heck he plans on doing.
Yeah, we still
That
don't know,
stuff.
do we?
No, we really don't. But either way, yeah, I don't know. Did I miss anything? He's killing people to absorb their power.
So he's got the power. He doesn't have as much power as he needs or wants. They shoot at him a whole bunch, and he's fine. Which, by the way, am I the only one on this panel who's seen the teaser for the Netflix Luke Cage series? Because that's all I could think of when they shot up Ryder, is that if his plan succeeds and he does become all-powerful and bulletproof, he is going to get real tired of buying new clothes.
Well, actually, what I was going to say, the humorous part in this for me is the fact that he's demonstrating his powers and he's taking Oliver Queen and he's like, this is just what could be.
No, whoops.
And then it fizzles out.
It's like either someone unplugged him or he just like let it out and then he's done.
Performance anxiety
Exactly.
joke part 2.
Exactly.
I did really like that after that happens, Oliver takes a second, goes, and then punches him in the face, and on the punch, hard cut back to present, which I like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like for that bit, we're going to go upstairs and kill his men, but unfortunately killing his men is going to get them into the idol and give him powers and and it's just Oliver Queen making bad choices.
Let's go save your friends.
We're back to the bad decision conga line.
But it's consistent characterization.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right, did we miss anything this episode?
We got the bee person. We got...
She's not dead. She's in a coma. She could come back.
Oh, yeah, we got, and I commented on this as we were watching it,
Yeah.
but it's like she's in the hospital, she's full of toxins, she's in some kind of coma. Why not just a coma?
Well, I wrote a response to that and said that she's in an Oxford coma.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah. It's
I'm
like
so
Oxford
happy
coma.
right now.
It's great.
No.
I'm
It's great.
so happy right now. All right,
Yeah.
we love you guys, but
That's
the
it.
internet connection in here means that we've lost the live chat. So, sorry, that is not my doing, unfortunately. That's because we get no internet in here. It's fun.
Boo.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
did we touch on everything? Do we need to go to news and gossip?
I think we should probably touch on the conversation that Felicity and Thea had at the very end after the wonderful and not so wonderful biatch puns. Talking about why they do it. Thea does it for the thrill, Thea does it for the exhilaration, and part of continuing to be that beacon of hope. And Felicity saying that she was never in it for that. She wanted to make a difference. Yeah, beacon. I got it.
Sorry.
That
Never
she
gonna
wanted
stop.
to make a difference and that she wanted to use Palmer Tech to be that difference. God damn it. Well, I don't think the board's going to be doing a lot of arguing with her.
Yeah.
She definitely saved their lives
Right.
and blew
Yeah.
a hole in the building, but saved their lives.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I thought that that's what they were going actually in the beginning of the episode when she talked about the technology and they were going to have this meeting, but now it's obviously driving forward the point that they want to develop this technology, and that's her version of making a difference. So even though she's not going to be contributing to Team Arrow, she's contributing to the wellness of just people in general by helping people walk again.
Which I really liked, and that's keeping with something that we've also talked about on this show before, which is Felicity, I think more than any other character on this show, is the one who demonstrates there's more than one type of heroism, and you don't have to be the person that goes out and punches people in the face every night to be heroic. So this was nice.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have, and Elliot Broom was bringing up a couple of really good things in Twitter. For one, this episode was weird considering someone's going to die next episode. Like, what the hell? For another, what if Dark wants to kill everyone to get more power like Ryder? Screw changing the world. Power. And he has kind of taken over what may or may not be the prison mafia? Question mark?
Yeah.
And he still has Andy, which is his ace in the hole, kind of, may still be brainwashed. We don't know. Question mark? A lot of questions.
Andy still looks really mad. That's the only thing I know for sure is that he's still really mad.
I feel like we have all these little teeny sprinklings of plot on an episode that really didn't deserve it.
Well, and two, my biggest criticism of the season so far, and I've actually enjoyed this season a lot for a number of different reasons. This was episode 17?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got, tops 6 more episodes?
We end the last week of I think we end like the last week of April.
But I know there's another hiatus. It goes off for like 2 weeks in a couple of weeks.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I don't get that either.
Sweet, merciful Buddha, again?
But we're about 6 episodes from the end of the season, and I still, for the life of me, have no idea what the evil villain's evil plot is. That seems weird.
That's true. Well, I'm thinking season 1, when we had the whole cause the earthquake, whatever the heck that was called, I don't remember the name for it. How far in did we know before it was destroy the Glades? Like,
Right.
how far in? Midway point, 2/3 of the way?
Well, but the difference between that and this is that we had an idea of who the main players were, and we had a name, whatever it was, the Reckoning or whatever. But like we had a rough idea that like these specific characters are doing something evil, whereas
That's true.
this whole season we've had Dark as our main focus, but he's only like a piece of something bigger that we've never seen before. So like we're in the dark about so many aspects, and we just don't have a lot of time to wrap it. Yeah.
It was weird. Like, I saw you react before you verbally reacted to that, the promise of a pun. You, like, perked up like you heard something in the distance. You know what I mean? Like, you sensed something was amiss nearby. And then it's like, dark. Got it.
But you have a very good point. And so what I'm wondering is, are we going to follow the Arrow formula of it's all taken care of at the end of the season and then we have a new big bad next time? Or are we going to be like, well, they're still here. See you next season in 6 months. God knows what'll happen by then.
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't have enough build-up to be able to wipe them out effectively.
Right. Well, also, too, we lightly heard about the election in terms of Alex is now potentially going to work for the opponent who really doesn't have an opposing opponent anymore.
You still have to run.
Yeah. Oh, well. Anyways.
You can't just be like, I claim this land for Spain and then be done. So, yeah, that we still have that as a player, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I do think Oliver should throw his hat back in the ring. It feels like that's a plot that just kind of went, yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. We spent a lot of time on this idea of Oliver Queen running for mayor, and then we dropped it like that.
Ooh.
I feel... no, go ahead.
Sorry. I just realized that...
Did you hear a pun somewhere?
No. It does kind of leave room for Felicity to run.
That's a thought.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
See, I was just thinking, and this, my nostalgia, Digimon Season 2, they had like one set of writers for the first half of the season, and it was cohesive and it was beautiful, and then they hit the second half of the season, and it changed hands, and it changed producers 2 or 3 different times, and it was a jumbled mess. And I feel like that's kind of what we've gotten into with this one was we had one writer who was, or one producer or one cohesive vision that was like, yes, Damien Dark, push it, do all this stuff. And then we hit a point a little more than halfway through the season and went, okay, he doesn't have powers anymore. Okay, we're not doing this anymore. And it's been a complete shift and we're just kind of flapping in the wind. We have no idea what's going on.
Wind flapping.
And it's kind of sad that that's what that reminds me of because I don't want this season to end as a hot mess when it's been so dang good for most of it.
Yeah.
We'll get it together.
Yeah.
We'll get it together. Anyway,
you say that like you're really like quietly trying to convince yourself like they're gonna do it. They're
just
gonna
rocking back and forth. Don't get it together. Don't get it together.
They're gonna pull it out. It's gonna be great.
Get it together.
It's gonna be great. The corn means something. The corn definitely means something. It's important.
mean
It's definitely
something.
important. It's totally important. We saw it that one time. It's important.
Yeah.
The Q is talking to me. The Q is talking to me. Yeah.
No genius.
Magic Nazi corn. Throw that in with literally every other hashtag we've done.
And then they fought the bee person that one time.
And then they fought the bee person. And it was like this one time with the bee person. Like it's one of those stories.
Man of bees. Yeah.
Oh God.
So, what's happening?
All right.
We should probably news and gossip at this point.
Yeah. What's happening.
AfterBuzz TV News.
It's not official until we have
Evil
the
bee technology sells at auction. Sorry.
Are you done?
We're adults.
Are you done? Are you done?
Yes.
Maybe.
Just delayed.
Maybe.
Okay, anyways, just kidding, guys. Okay, so before we get into super news and gossip, I just want to give a few thank yous and shout outs because some of you who are Arrow fans have been kind enough to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my Boys and Beauty channel. Most of you are men, which is not necessarily my target demographic, but I'm so grateful that you are watching.
Lean
so
into
yeah.
it.
Thank you. But anyways, so I'm going to go through this as quickly as I possibly can. Taylor Edwards, Aria Waters, Mohammed... I'm sorry. Hollywood Massive, which I know is Robert Riley, Jacob, I Geek and Review, Alexis Tyson, Maria Lewis, Badass Director Wassam, Sergius, Camille, Big Dog Neostar, Chrissy Shu, Montana Mills, Sinead Williams, Rosanna, I don't know your last name, and Bin Kahup. So all you guys, thank you so much for subscribing. And I just have a few pictures because I always like to do, okay, first of all, I did a Boys and Beauty on Stephen Amell, and that video got flagged. It had a lot of views, and out of nowhere, it got flagged and taken down. So I'm like, you know what, I need to do another one on Stephen Amell. 2,
Find a copyright claim.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
File a counterclaim. They'll put it back up immediately.
Well, I filed something, and they said no. But anyways, the point was,
Keep going.
But I did do a Boys and Beauty with Echo Kellum, which is going to be coming out this Sunday. So if you want to know all these fun stuff, you know, romance, skincare, like he talks about all these great things with me while we're in the tub. So watch for that this Sunday. In the meantime, another shout out to Ashley, which on Twitter you're Ash, or I said it, Ash, and then Aaliyah 11.
Ashalia?
I did a Boys and Beauty on, so Backstreet Boys were taking a cruise, right? And she's like, I went on it. So really quick, I just want to show the pictures of her just as a thank you. I know you guys are Arrow fans, but she got to be with literally the Backstreet Boys on a cruise, and I think that's so cool. And, if Oliver Queen wants to make a cruise or something, I would totally buy a ticket. So let's go to our next picture really quick. So again, this is just my thank you. And, let's go to the next picture again, please.
We go to Alaska.
Swoop. And that's my last picture. So anyways, yay, thank you so much. Swoop, let's go into our Arrow pictures. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay, guys, but we'll get to them. Emily Bett Rickards has a campaign going on, t-shirt campaign, and that should be my next picture pulling up hopefully shortly. There we go. So, and ironically, she does a show from her tub too, but when I saw it, there's no actual, there's nothing in the bathtub but her, like she's in her clothes. But yeah.
Sorry for
I don't judge how other people take their baths.
So if you find it, go into our next picture. There's actually the website. So if you want to support, it looks like that. Everybody fans have been purchasing the t-shirt, and then they've been posting their picture, the screenshot of the actual purchase, and sending it to her via Twitter. Forgive me, guys, I can't read what it says because it's so far away, so I cannot read what charity the money is going to. I am a bad host. Thank you very much.
No, you're not.
Bathroom Therapy Tea. Yeah, I still can't read it, but thank you for trying to enlarge it for me. It's okay.
Jump in the tub and join the club.
Yes. So, again, apologies, but if you do have a chance, go online. It's for a good cause. I love that everybody on Arrow is doing the t-shirt campaign between him, Paul Blackthorne did one for rhinos. It was awesome. Stephen Amell has influenced so many people with his charity, and this is super cool that now she's jumping on board.
It looks like, I'm squinting to see what the text says. It looks like the proceeds from every t-shirt sold will go to the American Autoimmune Related Diseases Association.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
Dang, dude.
Cool. Perfect. Let's go into our next picture if we can, please. Oh, so this is Stephen Amell with some of his fans, which I thought was really cool. He met this girl. We'll go into our next picture. And then he randomly signed, I don't know what was, a flag or something, and I'm assuming they were just on set for one of the island scenes. And going into our next picture, boop-boop-doo-doo, there's the same autograph from the picture he was signing. So, super cool. I can't read what it says, again, from a distance, but it's like, thank you for coming out or showing up.
Yeah, this one I can't see.
Yeah. Okay, so that's okay. We don't need to, it's fine. Let's go into our next picture, please. I'm giving our engineer a run for his money because I'm talking so fast. So there's a campaign going on because, Robbie Amell and Stephen Amell have a movie that they're trying to make called Code 8. And they did an Indiegogo campaign. They're trying to fund it themselves. They've been encouraging fans, and they've been giving away cool prizes as perks for donating to their situation. So this is one of the prizes, which happens to be a signed script by everyone from Arrow. So yeah, support. I mean, obviously, Stephen Amell is really dedicated to his fans, and they show him love back, so he's been raising a lot of money. And he says they're not going to stop raising money. They'll keep going. The more the money, the bigger the project, and they will try, if they can, with the money they raise, make a theatrical release. So big stuff coming their way. All right, next picture, please. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because y'all know that's coming out. And I just wanted to show Stephen Amell on, well, not set, but it's just a fun set up.
Hanging out with a spiky motorcycle.
Yes.
He
and
likes
Megan
his
Fox.
motorcycles.
Yes, he does. Next picture, please. Oh, and yeah, because apparently there's now Turtle Tuesday, hashtag Turtle Tuesday. I don't know if people are really actually participating in that, but that's on his Twitter, and I just thought I'd share that in case you want to partake too. Do I have any more pictures? I think that's all I have in pictures. I did have videos. Not all of them went through today. We'll see. Oh, June 3rd is when the movie debuts. FYI.
What is it? What is it? It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of the shadows, out of
something
the
like that.
Darkness, Nazi corn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Totally.
I would watch
Dawn of
Teenage
Justice.
Mutant Ninja Turtles Nazi corn. Like, what the hell?
Okay, so I don't know if the video
we have chat back.
I
That's
sent
good.
is the correct link because we've had issues, but I pulled two links from Twitter. And it shouldn't be anything about soda. However, that's what my engineer said. So we'll play it. And if
Something
it
about
is
a soda,
soda,
yeah.
then I'm sorry. It wasn't supposed to be soda. What is this? A surprise for all of us.
Hey.
I don't know. We'll see what pulls up, guys. Black. Nothing.
It's a light.
Thank you very much for the Ship of the Year award.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Always be all the way.
Okay, so that's what that was. Okay, so the other video that I guess did not go through was Stephen Amell, the cutest thing. So it was on his Instagram, and basically he jumps off of, I think it was a diving board, but he does a flip off to the diving board, and then his daughter, who is like all of 2 inches tall and however many months old, goes, whee! And she jumps into the pool, like belly flops into the pool, but it was the craziest thing because she's like this tiny thing, and then she swims to him. I was like, oh my god, so cute. Okay, that's it. I've just talked a mile a minute for this entire section. I'm sorry, guys, but that's my news.
Well, that's the usual news and gossip, and it's pretty great. So,
Thanks. Anyway, let's go into some predictions.
Cool.
Cool prediction music as I itch my ears.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
well, we did get from Emmy Kent on Twitter. I have to say it, Laser Light Show, every time. Love it. We got from Emmy Kent on Twitter that the season finale will be on May 25th. She thinks. So, citation needed? Question mark?
But that sounds about right. I mean, that's about 6 more episodes with a 2-week break. I think there's a new episode next week, and then I believe after that it's off for 2 weeks. I know Flash is now off till April 19th.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
After this week?
I
Yeah.
don't understand.
But we had a preview
exactly.
for next week, for next episode.
It's next
for
episode, but it's
19.
middle of April.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't understand. Somebody on the internet explain why, because I genuinely don't understand the number of breaks that they're taking on the CW.
They always do that during the second half for some reason.
Well,
once
there's normally-
January hits.
We do the 3-week spring break thing, but for another week so close after it, that's weird.
They always do that though.
So, are we back on next week?
I
Or do
believe-
we have to wait?
No, I believe we have a new episode next week. Flash is off already, but I believe Arrow has a new episode next week, and then it's off for 2?
That would make sense
Okay.
because they're going to kill someone and make a stew on it.
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm guessing that next week is the 6-month mark.
Well, let's start throwing our predictions out there, since we're in that area of the show, and I've already had somebody on Twitter say that, they think it's a setup for it being Diggle. Don't know. Whoever gets killed, though, to me, I didn't see any emotional attachment. And who was it that was saying the time of death is 12 or 11:59?
It sounded like Laurel.
Okay, so to
Could've been
me,
anyone.
whoever made that delivery of a comment didn't sound like they were distraught about it. So I felt like it was Andy, to be honest.
But again, I keep thinking of Blind Spot because it does this so often. It pulls these really dramatic things out of context. So you look at this trailer and go, it'll be so bad, and then it's so much worse than
That's
it
true.
actually is in context.
But there is the one scene where Felicity and Oliver are in the limo, and she says, "You better kill him, or you better get that mofo." Yeah. So it's got to be
Right.
somebody that she cares about. She obviously wouldn't care about Andy Diggle. So
Well, and we have that scene with Diggle fighting Oliver and Andy fighting Oliver and Diggle threatening to shoot Oliver and this and that and the other. So I think we're going to have Andy being a very fun and interesting double agent. That should be a good time. Aside from that, who's in the grave? I've thrown out so many predictions that I am almost beyond caring at this point. It could be anyone. Let's have fun.
Yeah, I'm about ready to just wait and have them tell me. I do think we've seen over and over and over and over again that when Andy is involved, Diggle loses all good sense. And maybe Andy is playing the bad guys. Maybe he's actually evil himself. I do think it would be I don't know what the word is beyond. I mean, obviously it'd be very dramatic, but one option, there's some abs happening on the screen over here. Maybe like Diggle loses good judgment to the point where he doesn't put Andy down when he needs to, and that gets him killed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure they'll tell us. I'm not sure they're going to tell us what the corn's about, but I'm pretty sure they'll tell us eventually who's in the grave, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. My concern, too, is I now really, more so than ever before in the last several weeks, really like Captain Lance. And
always
really,
liked him.
really don't want him to die, because I like him now more than I ever have. And because I like him more now than I ever have, I'm going, it's going to be him, isn't it?
That would make a lot of sense because Dark's impending trial, and the judge specifically said that it was Lance's testimony that made her dismiss. Nonetheless, it was Lance's testimony that made her dismiss the movement to dismiss the trial. And, of course, they're going to call him up to the stand again, and Damien Dark now has control of the prison mafia? Something?
And
a guy who doesn't talk is going to make a call.
Nobody's thinking too hard about any of it. But I feel like they made such a big thing about it being Lance's testimony that puts him away. And Lance really putting himself out there, knowing what the risks were. For that to have no consequence would be a little bewildering to me. Does that mean he's the one who dies? Not necessarily, but I feel like there needs to be some consequence, or as it turns out, him deciding to turn on Dark has no weight.
Yeah. I think, honestly, because they showed us this grave at the end of the very first episode, we have beaten this into the ground every single prediction section we've had. And now that it's finally upon us, I'm just like, I have invested all of my spoons. I don't have any more spoons. My drawer's empty. I'm done. Just show us. Just show us.
It's the man made out of bees.
So Tauri, tell me, what do you predict? It's okay.
Things are breaking.
Did the chair break? No. Okay.
I mean, I think I'm going to make it official that I think that Felicity's going to run for mayor. So that'll be my official. I personally, I'm worried in terms of whoever's in the grave. I'm worried that it's Diggle because, and this is a worry that, I'm sure a lot of people have, but, they just brought in a new brother. And so, we're running at 3 now, and, Suits aren't a big fan. It's becoming a black show.
It's the Walking Dead syndrome.
I was about to say, do you remember, the first 3 years of Walking Dead where there could only be one black character at a time?
Oh, they're still doing it. They are still doing it.
There's 2 black characters on the show now.
Oh, what an upgrade.
No, there's 3, I think. And considering how bad their track record was for the first 3 years, that's an improvement. But it
worries me.
I've seen too many shows where they kill the black guy or they kill the black guy and then they get another one and it's like, nothing changed. And I'm like, no, Trip is still dead, guys. That's not okay.
Dude, black people are not interchangeable.
They need to stop. S.H.I.E.L.D. did it. I'm really tired of it. So if Dig winds up in the grave, even if it's something that happened because of Andy and something that's earned, I'm still going to be pissed off because they put the black guy in the grave.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
And I'm not saying
that
black characters are immune from death.
No.
I'm just saying that, the timing is terrible.
Yeah.
And he's a character that I enjoy, and I don't want that to be the reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed completely.
And it's when you have so few characters of a gender, a race, whatever, they represent the whole in any given media that they're in. And so it's you're the only woman on the show, therefore you have the woman's narrative as opposed to women being allowed to be people, et cetera, et cetera. Exit stage left, pursued by bears. I don't know.
No, Tatsu is exit stage left, pursued by WB legal department.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, because of that movie that I don't think I'm going to go see. Yeah, yeah. So it's that same thing. You have very few characters of a certain group, and therefore they're representative, and we can't have more than one of them because then we might see them as people.
Yeah.
So we they die. We replace them. Drama.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's been building for a little bit.
End the show on a happy note, and I'll throw
bees.
Bee-man.
Bees. My God.
I'll just throw in a happy prediction, just for shits and giggles, just to throw it in there. Eventually, Felicity and Oliver will reunite. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Make it happy. Have a good night.
And show.
Lights shut down.
That's all you need to know.
Mic's cut off.
That's all you need to know. Anyway, okay.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
But no, seriously, we are running out of time, so thank you guys so much. I'm going to throw it to the front real quick. And thank you again for joining us, your Arrow AfterBuzz TV family. And thank you for being a part of that family by joining in the hashtag. We will see you next week. Again, I am Alikona Bradford. Follow me and the rest of your hosts. Support us on social media by hitting the follow button. I'm at boysandbeauty01 on Twitter and boys_and_beauty_Alikona on Instagram.
Oh, is that my cue? Is that my cue? Okay. Oh, me. So much pressure. I am Lex Michael, all over social media at the Lex Michael, and I'm still pushing for the name of our show to change to Digital Honey.
Digital Honey.
Yeah.
I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. It's TaurijAY. Make sure to check out my Twitter. I just posted a fun little sketch that you can laugh your brains out at.
Chat thinks that Jay Garrick is in the grave, and I think...
Another Jay Garrick.
Thank you, chat, for remembering our inside jokes and bringing them back. It's very difficult for me to not sit here and laugh at everything you say all broadcast. You're lovely human beings. And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name, and I mostly just react to things, so if you like watching me laugh like an idiot, that's the place to go. I'm on Snapchat at Kia Prime. Transformers Robots in Disguise is back on Sunday, and Blind Spot is on Tuesdays. And those are the things I do.
Yes. Oh, and lastly, I will I will say it again. Don't forget to watch Boys and Beauty this weekend, Sunday at 6 p.m. our time, West Coast time, to see my episode with Echo Kellum. And go onto my Twitter. I recently posted 2 pictures. I'm trying to decide which thumbnail of Echo to use. Maybe you can help me out. Give me a vote. Let me know. Left picture, right picture, and all that good stuff.
Oh, wait, and one more last thing. Legends of Tomorrow is back. Tune into the after show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. But 9 p.m. Pacific.
9 p.m. Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Good night's farewell.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later! Because of the
Honey.
bees, get it? Bees!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.